Okay everybody, so welcome back to the channel. So this video we're going to take a look at a new golf ball from Srixon. Q-Star Tour it is, but it's a divide ball, so two different colours, a bit different. So question I'm going to say to you guys first is this a ball you would play, or is it going to be a little bit more of a training aid? So we're going to talk about it, we're going to put it in a few different situations out on the golf course and maybe see if this is a type of ball you possibly might try and put in your bag to play on the golf course. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the golf ball itself before we start maybe testing it out on the golf course. We've got Q-Star Tour ball, so it's a three-piece ball. It's quite a premium golf ball here. So nice to see a couple of different colours. Sometimes you tend to see these types of golf balls. We've seen it going years back. Ping brought one out, but it's quite a cheap, rock-hard golf ball. So this is quite a bit more of a premium golf ball in these two different colours. Comes in three different colourways. We've got the orange and yellow, we've got the red and yellow, and then a blue and yellow. So we'll show you all three of those and maybe see if there's one that particularly you sort of fancy. So we're going to see, is this a type of golf ball that you would play on the golf course? Yes, it's a little bit wacky, but is it more of a golf ball you might just use as a bit of a training aid? And we're going to go through that a little bit and talk a little bit about how we can use that, maybe more with the putting and maybe the chipping around the green, but maybe a little bit more of a practice aid. Okay, so maybe out on the golf course, first sort of advantage this type of ball could possibly have for you is alignment on the tee. So obviously when we place the ball on the tee, we could get the line between the two colours pointing at our target. Okay, so again, that could help us a little bit with alignment when we're coming to address that golf ball. Again, that is very sort of visual there in terms of where the club face is pointing. If it's just slightly off, we can just noticeably see the difference there now. So obviously there's a good advantage there, helping to a little bit of alignment if that's something you possibly struggle with, club face alignment on the tee or just alignment of where you want that sort of ball to start. You might be picking that point out in front of your golf ball on the ground, which I would always sort of recommend to do to my sort of pupils to help with alignment, but that might just have that little added benefit there when you're on the tee. Okay, so as I mentioned, the Q-Star ball is a three-piece ball. It's got that matte finish on it, which I think looks quite cool, to be honest. And just doing a couple little keep you uppies here, you can just sort of, again, the sound of that softer cover on the golf ball, it does feel quite sort of premium. So as we maybe see with the Q-Star, maybe even like the AD333 Tour golf ball with that slightly softer cover, I think they used to call it that spin skin cover, you do get that really nice feel around the green. So let's see what it's like on these little short shots here. So this will be really interesting to see maybe how those colours rotate here as we play this. You know, I've got a 58 degree, just pitching it, just a short little pitch to this flag. Be interesting just to see how this ball, if we can visually see the spin on it. Yeah, and that is very visual as well. You can really see. I mean, how much does that benefit you? It's hard to sort of say, and probably doesn't really, does it? But it's just quite a cool thing to see how that ball sort of spins as you strike the golf ball, especially on these little chips. Okay, so question to you, is this a type of ball you would put in your bag? Are you brave enough to get on that first tee with the boys at your club and bring out a two-coloured golf ball that's really sort of bright? I don't know, you post comments down below, let me know your thoughts. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying this video. Okay, so the real big question now is, what is it like in the rough? I've put three balls in the rough here, just so all that one colour showing. So I would probably say the yellow one to start off with is pretty visual. You know, we've seen bright yellow golf balls in the past and they are pretty visual to sort of see. But maybe when we sort of see the orange one, not too bad. It starts to maybe just not show up quite as much. Then moving into the sort of blue one, there we go. Okay, so as we stood over it, it does look quite visual, but if you think you're coming from a slightly different angle here, bit hard, it doesn't really sort of jump out maybe like a white ball or that yellow ball does. And then moving into that red golf ball, again, very sort of similar. I think the blue and the red a little bit tougher to visually see in that rough. So we'll just put up ourselves just on the side of the green here. Just going to hit a couple like little chip and run shots with a 9-iron, just get them onto the green and release. And so we'll start off with the yellow and the red colour ball to start off with. See how these feel in and around the green, that touch and the feel of these balls off the club face with that three-piece technology, that spin skin. Yeah, and it definitely hasn't got that real clicky noise off the club face. You definitely just see that little bit of that spin, which again, you know, what benefit does that have to you, seeing the spin? Not really, it's just a bit of a fun factor more than anything really. Just seeing how that ball spins is quite interesting. But it does feel really good off that club face. That's a really nice shot of play there. Nice little tap in. So the blue and the yellow quite visual there actually, with a slightly darker blue to the bright on that yellow, a little bit more visual on that spin. This is the orange and yellow. Yeah, do feel really good. Go on. Nearly. Yeah, so definitely the blue and the yellow a little bit more visual in terms of looking at that spin, but really good feel off that club face around the green. Okay, so I think for me this is where this ball will really come into its own. There's a little bit of a training aid more than anything. Maybe out on this practice putting green you can use the two colours, and again helps with that alignment. So possibly an argument there on the golf course again as you line up your putts. Quite a good advantage there actually initially align it, but I think just to look at how you're delivering your stroke, if you're coming across the golf ball, and if we line the two colours up so they're sort of running in line with the actual hole or your intended line of putt, and if you're coming across the ball or misstrike it on your putter face, obviously those colours are going to get a sort of wobble as they work down that line of its putt. So this is a really good way to sort of see really what your stroke is doing and if you're coming across the ball or misstriking it. So again, really good for the alignment. If you've got those lines on your putter, you know, obviously get that line between the two colours to your intended start line, line it up with the line on your putter. Quite a visual one, really stands out to you there. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit of a right to left break there, but I saw that straight away, but the ball, the two colours ran parallel to each other through its journey. Okay, so we'll get this lined up a little bit more towards that right lip there now. Let's just check that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we need to try and trust this now. That's the read that I feel is this putt. Let's line the two colours up to the alignment aid on the putter. Try and trust it. Yeah, good, better stroke. Better hole. Just had a little bit of a wobble there, but it was good enough to make that putt. Okay, now for me another good little training aid use for this is just use your iPhone. So just get your iPhone, put it on slow-mo, and just video your ball roll from the side on view. So what we're going to see there from the side on view, we're going to see the golf ball in this position, so we can see the two colours. So instead of lining it like we did previously to the hole, actually if you imagine we're going in this direction, we've got the line running this way, which is at a right angle to your target line. So as you hit your putt, we're going to see how does that ball roll. Does it jump? Does it have backspin on the golf ball? We can clearly see what happens to that golf ball with the two colours there. So it's quite interesting to see, are you delivering too much loft with the putter? Is that ball jumping? You'll see it. Is it sort of spinning backwards? You know, we always want to know, we want to try and get that sort of slight skid and then that forward roll on that ball. So with the two colours, very visual. So as I mentioned, you're going to line this up so the one of the colour is fully facing the target. So the line's running at a right angle to that ball to target line. This will be quite a different visual now than what we've just seen with the line running down our target line between the two colours. Yeah, you can sort of see that ball really roll end over end there. So we should now see the two colours rotate over each other quite quickly when we hit this. And if we get it on that slow-mo, which I'll pop up on the screen, we should really see how that ball comes off that club face, how it spins and how it rotates. That was a nicer putt. Okay everybody, so there we go. Q-Star Tour golf balls. I think they're around £35 a dozen, so they're not the cheapest, but they are a bit more of a premium golf ball. But again, you tell me, is that something you would game, or would you use it a bit more as a bit of a training aid? Love to hear your thoughts as always. I'm not sure I would probably put those into play on the actual golf course, but I'll definitely use it on the putting green just to see how my stroke is and how my strike is on the putting green itself. Okay, appreciate watching the video as always. If you've enjoyed it, do hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.